minus 5p. Fixed costs are 30 kwacha, and each unit produced cost an addition 2 kwacha. Part A, write down the equation for the total revenue and the total cost in terms of Q. So colleagues, this is another topic that combines mathematics and principles of economics. Okay, as you can see there, we have a demand function. Sorry, I'm just replying to a message. So we've got a demand function. This demand function states the law of demand. Colleagues, what is the law of demand? From what we learned in Principles of Economics, what is the law of demand? Yes, Mr. Ibrahim, Madam Banda, Mr. Brown, law of demand. As I'm replying to some messages, okay, that's why I've asked this question. I'm replying to some messages here. Okay, so yes, what is the law of demand? Does anybody remember? I'm praying somebody remembers. Yes, sir, go ahead. Yes, go ahead, sir. Law of demand.
Can you get me, sir?
I can get you, sir, yes.
All right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you, sir. So actually, the law of demand says that there's a negative relationship between the price and the quantity demanded, holding other things constant.
Wonderful, sir. That's beautifully said. Wow. That's 100%. Okay, wonderful. Okay, colleagues?
Thank you,
There is
sir.
an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Okay, so here, Q is the quantity demanded, or is the quantity that you're buying. Okay, Q equals 65 minus 5p. Okay, so this minus sign is what illustrates this law of demand, because as you increase the price, you find Q is going to be going down. Okay, you find Q is going to be going down. Right. So they've told us the fixed costs are 30 kwacha. Then our variable costs is this one. This each unit produced cost an additional 2 kwacha. This is our variable cost. Okay, so we need to get our data first. We've got our quantity, we've got our demand function, which is 65 minus 5p, fixed costs, 80 kwacha, variable cost, 2q. Okay, colleagues, remember, fixed costs are costs that stay the same regardless of how much you produce. Any examples of fixed costs that we can think of? I'll start with one. For example, factory rent. Okay, the factory, even though it produces 1 unit, 100 units, 1,000 units, the rent is still going to be the same. Okay. Yes. What other fixed costs do we know?
Maybe for a building, a land for a house, maybe.
Rent, yes, but I said that already, but rent, yes. Another one, salaries, workers' salaries. Okay. Was yes, Mr. Ibrahim, Mr. Ibra.
No, actually, sir, it wasn't up. It was up the time I was trying to answer the law of demand.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yes, colleagues, yes. So fixed costs stay the same, okay? Their graph is like this, because the reason why I'm going in depth is because this, we're also going to learn this in economics. So remember these concepts. So fixed costs, remember the graph is like this, okay? That's for total fixed costs, okay? When you look at fixed costs at a per unit basis, the graph looks different. Then variable costs, these are the costs which can go up and down. They're dependent on how much you produce, okay? That's why I've put here 2Q. Okay, the variable costs are dependent on how much you produce. The more you produce, the more the variable cost. The less you produce, the less variable cost. Right. So, an example of variable costs can be like direct materials for a business. Okay, materials for production. Okay. If the price of materials goes up, you buy less, the variable cost will be less. If the price of materials goes down, you buy more materials, your cost also go up.
Sir, is the insurance also a fixed cost?
Yes, it's fixed. That one is fixed.
All right, sir.
Yes. So long as you're just paying the same amount, okay, then just know that that is fixed. Okay. All right. So part A, they've said write down the equation for the total revenue and the total cost in terms of Q. So colleagues, with these questions, they always have the same format. Okay. They always have the same format. Now remember, total revenue is the price you pay multiplied by the quantity. Okay. If you sell fritters for 5 kwacha and you've sold 100 fritters, 5 times 100, 500 kwacha is your total revenue, right, colleagues? Then total cost.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Total cost is the cost per unit times quantity. Cost per unit total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. So total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. Okay. So these are the formulae you need to remember. These two. So we're going to first get the total revenue for this firm. Okay. So the total revenue, we need to get the price, we need to get P. Q will just stay as Q. Okay. Your P, which is the price, you're going to get it from the demand function. Okay. You're going to get your P from the demand function. Right. Then Q, you just leave it as it is. This Q on total revenue. Please do not make a mistake and substitute this Q for this one here. Okay.
So repeat that one again.
Yes. Your price is you're going to get from your demand function. Okay. The P here, the price, you get from the demand function. Then this Q, do not substitute it for this one here. Okay. Do not. Alright. This Q, just leave it as Q is just quantity, so just leave it as that. Okay. Even here on variable costs, don't substitute the Q, this one for this Q there. No. Okay. Just remember Q in this type of questions, you just leave it as Q. I hope that is clear, colleagues.
Loud and clear, sir.
the first thing is you get P. Always, I'll say this is even step one. Step one is get your P from the demand function. So this is where algebra takes place. Okay, this is where algebra takes place. You have to make P the subject of the formula. Okay, so we start like this. Q equals 65 minus 5P. We want to make P the subject of the formula. Okay, so since it's a negative 5P, what we can do, colleagues, is we take this negative 5P over the equal sign so that it becomes positive. And then this Q, we take it over the equal sign so that it becomes negative. Okay? So when we do that, we're going to have 5P equals 65 minus Q. Any questions before I proceed? Okay, so to get the value of P, you divide both sides by 5. So you divide like this. So P equals 65 minus Q over 5. Okay, colleagues? Any questions before I move further? That's the first step. Get your P from the demand function. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Okay. So, colleagues, this fraction you can simplify it further. Okay, I always advise to simplify these fractions further. Okay, so that you make your life easy. Okay, so to simplify this fraction, you can do it like this: 65 divided by 5 minus Q over 5. Okay, colleagues? You can separate the fraction like this. You haven't changed anything. Okay? You haven't changed anything. Because when you subtract these fractions like this will be your answer, basic. Okay? So you haven't changed anything. You just want to simplify the fraction in a way that it makes our life easy. Okay? So what is 65 divided by 5? Anyone with a calculator?
It's actually 13, sir.
13, okay. So this Q is like it's 1Q, okay, colleagues? This is like 1Q, okay? It's like 1Q. So you can say, what is 1 divided by 5? That is 0.2. So you can put 0.2Q. Okay? In front of this Q, there is a 1, okay, colleagues? There's an invincible 1. Okay? So you just divide it by 5 so that you get a decimal like this. Alright? Any questions so far? Okay. So now we can go and find our total revenue function. Remember, total revenue is P times Q. So you're going to say TR equals price times quantity. So we're going to say P equals 13 minus 0.2 Q multiplied by Q. Okay? As I said, this Q here as it is. Okay. Then you expand the expression. Okay. Q times 13, you get 13Q. Minus Q times 0.2Q, you get 0.2Q squared. Okay, so this is the total revenue function. Any questions? Yes. Someone raise their hand. Is there a question? Mr. John?
Yes, sir. I was saying, I'm just connected to the Bluetooth. I'm just hearing the voice. Otherwise, I can't see anything. I'm on the road going back home. I can't usually. Is there any recorded?
I'm
Because
recording.
this one I'm driving home.
Okay. There is, I think there is a. I'm recording this, sir. I'm recording, so don't worry.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, colleagues, I'm recording, so do not.
Sir, how did you come up with the 0.2Q squared at the end there?
0.2Q times Q. Okay, 0.
Yes, sir.
So Q times Q.
And how is it?
Bluetooth device is connected.
Hello?
Hello, I can get you?
Yes, sir. So you said you multiply the Q with everything that is in the bracket, which is 11, which is 13 minus 0.2Q.
Yeah.
Oh, the way you are, it's actually Q, because I was thinking the other one is a 22.
Okay. I
I
think
think
yeah,
it's the way you are.
The way I wrote.
Yes.
Okay. This is Q, colleagues.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Total cost function. Okay, the total cost function, remember total cost is fixed cost plus variable cost. The fixed cost is 30 kwacha. The variable cost is 2Q. Very simple, right, colleagues? Very easy. Okay. So we've done part A. Okay. We wrote down total revenue and total cost in terms of Q. Part B, find the break-even points algebraically. Okay, so colleagues, I believe all of us know what break-even is, right? Can someone shed more light? What is break-even before I start? Especially if you own your own business, you know you don't want to break even. So yes, colleagues, what is break-even? once you define it in simple words, you've understood the concept. Break even the definition. Okay, break even is when you don't make any profit, okay? Oh, now I've already answered.
Evening, sir.
Okay, finish up my answer, maybe.
Yeah, breaking even is what comes in is what goes out. Like, for example, you are given 2,000 kwacha to spend, and then again you retain 2,000 kwacha. You don't add any extra amount.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you. That's Mr. Who?
Brown.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, colleagues. Break even is when the revenue that you make equals the costs that you incur. So if you're a business and that month you make revenue of 100,000, and then you also your costs for that month 100,000. It means you don't make any profit or any loss. Okay. Your total revenue equals your total cost. Okay. Sometimes in these questions they might give you a profit function. Okay. If they bring a profit function, break even is when your profit equals 0. Okay. Because this type of questions they like to change. So if there is a profit function, okay, and then they ask you for break even, just equate profit to 0. Okay, so in this case now we're using total revenue and total cost. So we equate these two. Okay. Total revenue 13 Q minus 0.2 Q squared equals 30 plus 2Q. Okay. So basically, here, what we're trying to do is what find the value of Q. Okay, colleagues? Or could you kindly mute your mic, sir, please? If you could mute your mic. Yes. Here, what we're trying to do is we're trying to find the value of Q. Okay. So here, now notice, whenever you see there's a square sign here, just know that you want to simplify this expression, you're going to have to make a quadratic equation. Okay, colleagues? If you see the power 2, if you have a situation like this and you see there's a power 2 here, just know you have to form a quadratic equation. Okay? If there is no power 2, you can easily solve for Q. Okay? But here, you need to form a quadratic equation here. So, we have two options. We can either take these terms on the left, we take them to the right, or these terms on the right, we take them to the left. Okay? Either way, you still get the same answer, but you have to be careful with the signs. Okay? So, I'm going to take all of these terms here, taking them over to the right there. Okay. Whose mic is still? So, this is how we're going to do it. 13Q, when we take it over this side, we have 30 plus 2q. When we take this 13q over this side, it becomes a negative. So you have minus 13q. This negative 0.2q squared, when we take it over, it becomes positive, so we can bring it here. 0.2, 0.2q squared squared plus 30 plus 2q. Any questions, colleagues? We simplify. Here you have a 0 on this side, okay? We leave it as a 0 because we're forming a quadratic equation. We want to solve for q. Okay, remember here, all that we're trying to do, colleagues, is we want to solve for q. Okay? That's all we're trying to do. So I've got 0.2q squared. Okay. 2q minus 13q. You get negative 11q. Plus 30. Okay. Because remember, with your quadratic equations, you have to put these in order, okay? This is the q squared, then q to the power 1, then the constant, which is the number which doesn't have a letter. Okay? So you have to put your quadratic equation in order. Any questions so far? Okay, so here we need to use the quadratic formula. Okay, because if we try to do with factorization, okay, it might become a bit cumbersome. Okay, so I would advise use the quadratic equation in such a case, unless if there was no 0.2 here. Okay, if you also want, you can simplify this. You can make this quadratic equation where you remove this decimal here. Okay, what you can do is this: if you want to remove this decimal here, okay, you have to just think, okay, what number can I multiply by 0.2 to at least get a positive, a whole number? You can multiply by 10, you can multiply by 5, you can choose any numbers that you want, okay? So if you say, okay, let me multiply everything by 5. 5 times 0.2, that is 1. I'm not mistaken. 5 times 0.2 is 1. So you get q squared here. 5 times negative 11, you get negative 55. 5 times 30, you get 150. Okay, colleagues? You can do it like this. If you want, you can also use 10. Okay? All that you're just trying to do is just want to have a decimal, that's all. That's all that you're trying to do, colleagues. You just want to remove the decimal. Okay? Any questions before I move further?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind. You said for us to get rid of the decimal point, we are supposed to find a number that multiplies 0.2 by itself, or what?
No, a number that you can multiply with 0.2 so that you get a non-decimal number.
Okay.
Yes.
So in this case, we are using 5.
Yes. If you use 10, you get 2 squared, 110 cube plus 300. Okay. Your answers won't change. If you use 5, 10, 20, your answers won't change. Okay, sir?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Yes, 55 cube. So as I said here, I'm going to just use the quadratic equation. Because I tried by factorization, I couldn't find any 2 factors. Okay. So the quadratic equation, remember colleagues, it's negative b plus minus square root over b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so do not worry, I'll tell you what these letters mean. Okay, colleagues, a, or let me even put, this is the format of the quadratic equation. Okay, so that you see where these things are coming from. Okay, this is the standard format of the quadratic equation. So a is the coefficient over q squared or x squared, the number in front of the letter, basically. Okay, that is what a is. So with this quadratic equation that we have here, we'll say our a is 1. Okay, 1q squared. Okay, if we left our equation like this one here, it would have been 0.2. Okay, b is the number in front of x or q, because here we're using q, we're not using x. So b is the coefficient of q. When I say coefficient, colleagues, I just mean number in front of the letter. Okay, so b is negative 55. And b is negative 55. Always take note of the sign. Okay, if there's a minus, so b will be a negative. Okay. Then c is the constant. Basically, it's the number without a letter. Okay, that's what we mean a constant. A constant is a number without a letter. Are we all clear with this, colleagues? Any questions? Okay, so we just substitute in our quadratic equation. So our quadratic equation is negative b, so negative b was what is b is negative 55, so you put negative, where is this cursor? You put in brackets c, negative 55. Always take note of the signs, okay, colleagues? Because this is where it gets a lot of students, right? Plus, minus, then we have the square root there. Okay, then you say here b squared, so you're going to say negative 55 squared. Minus, you're going to say 4 multiplied by a is 1, c is 150. Okay. Over 2 restart our simplification. Negative and negative make positive, so outside we have a positive 55. 55 plus minus. Okay, with our calculators, what is 55 squared? Negative 55 squared?
So I said our A is 1. So even on the down part, our A.
Oh, yes, thank you, yes. Thank you, sir. So negative 55 squared, that's 3025. Positive 3025. Minus 4 times 1, that is 4. Then 4 times 150, 600. Over 2a. Okay. In mathematics, this is how you should be showing your solutions in the exam. When they say show all steps, this is what it means, show all steps. Okay. So that you get all your marks. So then we have 55 plus minus, so 3025 minus 600.
That is 2,425.
Thank you. $2,425, right? Over 2. So this is where now, because remember, a quadratic equation, since it's to the power 2, it means you're going to have 2 solutions. Okay, because the quadratic equation is in this form here. A parabola or a parabola, whichever you prefer. Okay, a parabola. Okay, it cuts the x-axis on 2 points. Okay, that's why here you're going to have to get 2 solutions for a quadratic equation. So you're going to say 55 plus the square root of 2,425 over 2, or 55 minus the square root of 2,425 over 2. Okay. So, what is the square root of 2,425? Just give me to 1 decimal place, because we're dealing with units, so you don't want to have too many decimal places. What's the square root of 2,425? Colleagues, square root of 2,425. Always come with your calculators, okay? With mathematics, principles of economics, always come with your calculators. 49.24.
49.2.
Yeah, 49.2, yes, 49.2. Over 2, yeah, 55 minus 49.2. Over 2. Okay, so 55 plus 49.2. $104.2 divided by 2. Then 55 minus 49.2, 5.8. 104.2 divided by 2, 104.2 divided by 2, that's 52.1. So Q equals 52.1, or 5.8 divided by 2, 2.9. Now since we're dealing with units, colleagues, okay, so you just need to round off, okay, because there's no such thing as 2.9 units or 52.1 units, so you round off, okay. So we break even at 52 units or 3 units. Okay, Q equals 52 or 3. Right? Yes. Any questions, colleagues?